Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everybody. How are you today? Monday, Mindset Monday, right? It's Monday, and we have to set our mind for the week. We have to be ready to be motivated on Monday and to really prepare our mind to do things and to be. Today, hello, everybody. Hi. My name is Linda. I'm your Back in the Groove Again coach. And today I want to talk about job search. Now, in the last few weeks, I've been talking about uh, how you can identify your strengths for work. And I mentioned a few things. But today I want to specifically talk about job search because now's the time of year, and especially now with that COVID is starting to slow down in certain parts of the world, people are starting to either go back to work or start looking for work again. And that's why I want to talk a little bit about that today. May I ask who is watching me? Hi, Tina. How are you? Thank you for being here. How are you doing? How are you doing today? I hope you can hear me okay. So I want to talk a little bit about job search. So first, just a brief definition of what job search is. Job search is the process of looking for work. Now, you might think that it's just about sending resumes, but it's a lot more to it than that. Of course, you have to update your resume, and that is an ongoing process. Actually, I just submitted a resume today. I'm a career consultant, and I've been, working as an independent consultant for a while. And I contacted a consulting firm today, and they asked me for my resume because, they want to make sure that I update my skills. So I had to pull up my resume, and I needed to make just a few slight changes to my resume. And then I submitted it. So you want to update your resume every time. And I'm so glad you're doing good. You want to update your resume according to the job, of course, that you're applying for. So I had a career coach resume. I needed to make just a few changes to it, and then I sent it to the company. But if you are applying for a very different job, you might have to, a couple of things. You might have to really change your resume drastically, or you might have to work with a coach to help you determine how to change your resume. That's why career coaches like me exist, right? So you have to update your resume. That's part of job search. The other thing too, you might have to complete application forms either online or on a website. When you complete applications online or on a website, you might have to write some tests. You might have to complete some assessments as well. So what I always suggest to my clients is take a look at the website and figure to add about half an hour to an hour to maybe a little longer of your time to complete each online application, because of course some of them are fairly straightforward, but you just upload your resume and cover letter and that's it. But other ones are more complex, where you have to complete assessments like I mentioned. So you want to complete applications. That's part of job search. You also want to update your profile on LinkedIn. You want to keep your information updated, because you might not think that people are looking at you on LinkedIn, but you can tell when people are looking at you because you have the possibility of seeing who's viewed you. Now, you don't know why they viewed you. You just know they did. So you want to make sure your profiles, anywhere you have a profile, that's updated. Now, that's part of job search, right? That's part of it. Another thing that's part of job search is identifying employers, of course, identifying employers according to your interests, identifying employers according to your values, identifying employers according to the types of problems you want to solve. So you want to identify employers. You also want to, of course, once your resume is updated, you want to start sending your resume and you want to follow up with employers. I had a client just today. We were just meeting for the first time, and she has started, or she hasn't started yet. She'll be starting next week. And she told me that she has an orientation next week. It's for an employer in Thunder Bay. It's an employer Thunder Bay is in Ontario. It's an employer that's similar to Walmart. Now, she didn't remember the name, but it's similar to Walmart. And the employer told her, we'll send you a link for some training. And she was told this last week. Now, today's Monday, so last week she was told that. And she's already followed up because she didn't receive the link yet. Except what happens is that an employer might just send the link a day before the set training. So I suggested wait a couple of more days, before you're supposed to start, and then follow up again just to make sure that you do receive the link to the training. So following up is also part of job search. One more thing that's part of job search is networking. Networking, talking to your friends, talking to family members, talking to people that you connect with maybe on Facebook. That's why it's so important to have a clean profile on Facebook. And, because some people do use Facebook to look for work, and employers might be looking at your Facebook profile too. So, depending on the type of position you're applying for, you might have to be careful what you post on Facebook. Of course, LinkedIn is a professional social media website, so you're expected to make sure your profile's updated there too, but you also have an opportunity to network with people on social media platforms such as LinkedIn as well. Now, another thing that I'm going to suggest, and this is something that when I meet with my clients, we often discuss goals. If you don't have goals, you don't know where you're going. You won't be able to determine whether you're successful in reaching your goals or not. So I remember, I'll just talk a little bit about one of my clients. This was last year sometime when I was meeting with him. We were meeting once a week. And I had sent him a form because as a coach, I send a form to my clients and asked him to fill out the form. There were certain questions on the form that he needed to complete. Now, he was really smart. He would sit down on Sunday nights and write himself a list of things to do. He would have how many employers to contact. And of course, we had talked about this before. So he had said, I'm going to contact 5 employers. He had set a certain number of applications he was going to fill out. He was going to set a certain number of calls that he was going to be doing for following up. So every week, sit down on a Sunday night, Monday morning, choose a time, and write down what your plan is. That's going to motivate you. And if you have a coach, of course, share that with your coach, because your coach will more or less keep you accountable. Now, coaches aren't there to give you heck if you don't get things done. Coaches are there to explore what might have prevented you from getting things done, right? So we're there to support you. We're there to cheerlead you. We're there to make sure that your goals are met, any which way that you can get them done. So I also suggested to my client, how many hours a week do you want to dedicate to your job search? So it might be, some people dedicate 40 hours to job search. Now that might be doable for you. It might not be doable at all. So at least be realistic. You might say, okay, 10 hours a week to start with, and see how successful you are with the 10 hours a week. My glasses keep going down. They're going down because I just came back from a walk. I want to talk to you a little bit about motivation in a second too. I just came back from a walk and I'm a little bit sweaty. So my glasses are going down. So he had written a list of what he wanted to accomplish during the week, right? And so when we get together, we share that list, and I'm able to keep him accountable. Now, I want to talk a little bit about networking, not networking, motivation. I have to tell you that I wasn't, this is the truth, I wasn't really motivated today. I didn't feel like doing, a lot. I went to bed late and I wasn't feeling it. I just wasn't feeling motivated. So there's a couple of things that I had to do to get motivated. One was to kind of shake things up a little bit, move my arms, stretch, get physical, because I noticed that when I get physical, I start feeling more energetic. I also went for a walk, and on my walk, I decided that when I was going to come back, I was going to do certain things. So if you need help with motivation, you might need to hire a coach or work with a coach who will keep you accountable. Now, it's really up to you to get motivated, but a coach will also help you decide what motivates you. So I also, one thing that motivates me is a reward after. Now, I don't reward myself with with a lot of things. For example, after I've done, my live here, I'm going to go and chill out for a little bit. I'll probably make myself a nice tea, and the tea will be like a reward. So after I complete a certain task, a task that I've been wanting to do, I give myself a reward. Now, the reward isn't a monetary thing. It's simply something that I look forward to. For example, I'm not going to be doing that today because I just came back from a walk, but oftentimes I'll say, okay, I'm going to do this task and then I'll go for a walk because I like walking. And so the idea of the walk afterwards motivates me to complete the task. So that's all I want to share with you today. We talked about job search. Are there any questions at all or any comments at all? I'm not sure who's still viewing me now, but can you tell me who is still listening to me? I don't know if Tina is still listening to me right now, but who is still listening? And if you have any questions, I'm here to answer them. I talked about job search, the importance of course, of setting some time aside every week to dedicate to job search. I talked about updating your resume every time you're applying. I talked about setting some time aside to complete online applications because some of them can be very complicated, might take a lot of time. I also talked about identifying employers according to your interest, according to some of the problems that they may resolve. And I also talked about the importance of networking and following up. So any questions at all on what I talked about? And of course, it's nice to know who is listening. So please add your name in the chat box so that I could say hi to you. I also talked a little bit about motivation too. It's always nice to know that someone is listening. And thank you for being here. I want to thank you for being here, and I'll be back on Wednesday, maybe not. I'm traveling out of town on Wednesday. I have to go deal with a personal matter, so I may not do a live on Wednesday as well, but I might do it. It depends on my time. So I'll see you guys later. I hope that you have a wonderful evening. If you are looking at changing your career, before I go, I'm going to share this with you. If you're looking at changing your career, you're going to absolutely love my 5 video series. My 5 video series is called Success. Sorry about that. My eye is itchy. 5 secrets to discover your ideal career. I will add the link to this video so that you can access it later. All right, everybody. See you soon. Talk to you later. Bye. Bye-bye now.